hearts be troubled. Don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God and trust in me also. There's more than enough room in my Father's home. If this weren't so, would I have told you that I'm going to prepare a place for you? When everything is ready, I will come and get you so that you will always be with me.
Amen.
Oh, amen. Speaking of nostalgia, old times, there's a movie that I watched as a kid. We were all kind of forced to watch it in elementary school. Do you guys remember this movie called The Red Balloon? If you haven't seen it, it's a beautiful movie. In fact, I've shared this flick with my kids over the years. It's a story about this little boy and his red balloon. And that sort of takes on a life of its own. And it follows him around the streets of France, and they play together, they play hide and seek, and you're watching this relationship between this boy and the balloon develop over time. And if you remember the story and you watch the movie, you know that at the end of this flick, a group of bullies begin to chase the kid down because they want the balloon. And they take slingshots and they pop it. And then there's this sort of death scene of the balloon as you see it deflating in slow motion and falling to the ground. Do you remember that? And I believe it's a picture of innocence dying, innocence being lost. But this movie is also about hope, because at the end, all of the balloons in France come together and take a life of their own, and they gather together and they carry this little boy off into the sky. Like restoration, and it's just beautiful. And as I look back on my past and all of the brokenness that I experienced back there, I realize that my brother Bobby is not coming back. And I realize now that my parents are never getting back together. In fact, they were never really all that much in love with each other to begin with. And none of us can ever really recover the innocence that was lost because of people who hurt or harmed us intentionally or unintentionally through their sinful and destructive actions. But God promises that one day He's going to take all those broken pieces of our lives and He's going to one day, He's going to restore them. And everything that was lost, we found again. Heather, you can have that. A little gift for you. But that final home that Jesus is building for us right now is better than anything that we ever experienced in that magical place that we call childhood. A future where there's no more pain, no more sickness, no more death or suffering, where we're going to be reunited with our loved ones who have gone before us, who died in faith. I'll see Bobby again. But the only way that we can experience that hope of restoration is by faith in the only one who was ever truly innocent and yet died so that we could finally make our way